would the girl have gotten shot if she was white?
If the cop was trying to save the other girl's life, I think he would have shot her.
So you think same scenario, white girl about to stab a black girl, you think he would have shot her?
I mean, if we want to compare apples to apples, a white girl stabbing another white girl, I think either way, whatever the scenario was, I think she would have got shot.
If they were white, he was not going to shoot them. Let's keep it 100. Go. What y'all think about Umar Johnson on The Breakfast Club?
Yeah, so there were a couple things that he was talking about. Of course, he was addressing the shooting of, is her name Ma'Khia Bryant? Is that correct?
Yeah.
So they were addressing that, of course, the education system. Now, there were a couple of things that were actually said on there. So if you guys had actually seen, there was a viral moment where DJ Envy had disagreed. He basically said that, like, hey, if he's protecting the life of another person, he had to do what he had to do. What do y'all think?
If the cop wouldn't have shot the girl, and that girl would have stabbed that other girl and possibly killed her, that the cop was in a damned if he did and damned if he didn't type situation, for the simple fact that if he didn't shoot that girl and save the other girl's life, everybody would have talked about him. Let me say it this way. Well, to be honest, I don't think there's another way for me to say it. So I guess I just don't want to repeat it. Either way, even if the situation wasn't a national story, right? The community would have still talked about him. Oh, he didn't do anything to save my daughter. He let the one girl stab my daughter. So it would have been a community thing. The only reason it's national, in my opinion, is because it's a white cop and a black girl. It may have been locally on the news. And do I think he still would have got talked about by the community if people would have been mad and upset? Yes, I do. I think the only difference in scenarios is if it's white girls and black girls, is the fact that it's national, for the simple fact that he's a white cop and she's a black girl. So I think that's what makes this bigger than what, I don't want to say bigger than it is, but I think
I'm sorry to cut you off. I think I know what's going on.
That's okay.
You biased with big women, ain't you?
Oh my God!
Come on, man, tell it. You only mess with slim, thick.
Oh my gosh, you almost made me spit out my juice. No, I can promise that's not what it is.
We figured it out. This dude don't like BBW.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I personally don't think it's a. I don't know. It's hard for me to see how race is involved in this. It really is.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm just messing with you.
But no, I do think that there is a small aspect of a bias of if it's a bigger person compared to a smaller person, to where I think that if it's regardless of color, that could play into it, because at that point they don't look at that person like a kid, especially if you just got on the scene and you don't really know who's who. You may not be thinking of this as the 12-year-old or the 16-year-old who might not be able to harm someone. You're thinking this is a whole grown woman, jumping on this little girl in the pink, even though the girl in the pink was actually older. I believe she was in her 20s. So she was substantially older.
What people are taught, what the police are taught, is they can use a weapon that's above whatever they're using. So you would think taser and knife are two different animals. You know what I mean? And you kill somebody with a knife, tasers really don't, unless they have a heart attack. So, they're taught to shoot center mass. That's what they're taught.